Good morning, students. In this lecture, we are going to study about a rigid body. What is rigid body? The motion of rigid body, the questions, derivation of questions of rotational motion and its comparison with the linear motion, and lastly, the equilibrium of rigid body. Students, till work energy power, we have discussed the motion of different objects or bodies using the concept of point mass. So, what is point mass? A certain mass having negligible dimensions. So, it was easy to discuss the motion of whole body using the hypothetical concept, that is of point mass, as the motion was linear or translational only. But in reality, we deal with the extended objects, not with the point objects. What are extended objects? It's a collection of large number of particles. Also, we call it system of particles. But in this chapter, we are going to study the motion of a rigid body. If the extended object is deformed during rotational motion, the motion becomes quite complicated. Therefore, for the simplicity, the extended object is considered such that its shape is not changing when the external force is acting on it. Such extended object is regarded as a rigid body. So, for example, stone, metallic, sphere, iron rod, table, wood, anything that we see that we can treat as a rigid body. So, ideally, a rigid body is a body with perfectly definite and unchanging shape. The distance between all the pair of particles of such body do not change even under the application of external force. So, kind of motions of a rigid body. First one is translational motion. If the velocity of all the particles is same, then it's called translational motion. Like P1 and P2, as the body slides down the inclined plane from A to C point, both the particles, not both, all the particles, they are covering the same distance. That's why they have same velocity. But in this second figure, the particles P1, P2, P3 and P4, they have different velocities. So this kind of motion is not only translational, it is combination of translational plus something, and that something is called rotational motion. So in rotational motion, every particle of the body moves in a circle which lies in a plane perpendicular to the axis, and its center is on the axis of rotation. This is, here we have different particles, they have different radii. But they have common, like we can draw the bigger particle, circle. Here we can draw a bigger circle, but all the circles have their centers on the axis of rotation. Another example is ceiling fan, potter's wheel. They are perfect examples of rotational motion. Third one is precession. Precession, if the axis is not fixed, then it is called precession, like motion of a top. You might have seen the top. The motion of top is an example of precession. Here the axis is not fixed, it is shifting its position left, right. That's why it is describing a cone. Fourth one is rolling motion. It's a combination of translational and rotational motion. Now kinematic equations of rotational motion. Here we can see alpha. Here alpha is called angular acceleration, and from this, just like we had derived this equation using the concept A is equal to V minus U upon T. Similarly, we can draw this equation, drive this equation, and similarly we can drive third one, that is theta is equal to omega naught plus alpha t square, just like we had derived S is equal to ut plus half at square. Similarly, third equation, omega square omega minus omega naught square is equal to 2 alpha theta, and we had drawn v square minus u square is equal to 2 as in the linear motion. Next is analogy. This table shows the analogy between linear and rotational motion. Here we have s as distance or displacement. Here its replacement is theta in the rotational motion. Similarly, v equal to ds upon dt. Here omega is equal to d theta upon dt. Similarly, we have different equations. P is equal to mv. Here L is equal to I omega. Most importantly, here the moment of inertia plays the same role as mass plays in the linear motion. Similarly, we have work F dot S. Here work is tau dot theta. Here the role of force is played by torque. Similarly, we have different other equations, and we can compare them. Next is equilibrium of rigid bodies. A body is said to be in rotational as well as translational equilibrium or complete equilibrium if it does not undergo any kind of motion. For example, is said to be in translational equilibrium if the net force acting on the body is 0, or we can say if the force is 0, it means linear momentum is constant. That means the body is at rest or moving with the constant velocity. Similarly, second condition is related to rotational motion. If the body is said to be in rotational equilibrium if the net torque acting on the body is 0, or we can say L is constant, or body does not rotate or rotate with the angular velocity. Does not rotate means it is at rest or it is moving with the constant angular velocity. So lastly, there is an assignment related to what we have studied till now, what is the advantage of concept of center of mass, because what is center of mass? We know it is a hypothetical point where whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. So whenever the motion is a combination of translational rotational motion, then we study this type of motion with the concept of center of mass. So what is rigid body? Already we have discussed. Body in which the separation between the molecules does not change even when the deforming force is acting on it. What is analogy of mass in the rotational motion? We have studied, that is moment of inertia. Next is theorem of parallel axis, perpendicular axis. These are the statements. And third one and sixth is numerical, and seventh is a relation between torque, moment of inertia, and angular acceleration. Already we have discussed. And last one is derivation of equations of motion for the rotational motion. Thank you, students.